Hi guys, I'm coming at you today with a very impromptu video. I did plan to make this, but I didn't plan it to make it today. So I'm in the kitchen, in my pyjamas, and the reason I'm in the kitchen is because I would like to introduce you. If you watch my Instagram, come here. If you watch my Instagram, oh, come here. There you go. You would know we have this little diva. And if she looks mad and angry, that's just the way her face is. So this is Mitzi. And she's living with us. You've probably seen her in older videos. She belongs to Lewis's granddad. And the care got a little bit too much. So she's come to live with us. And as you can see, she is the sweetest little girl, aren't you? And she may or may not start sneezing, because that's what she does when she is very, very happy. But she is loving and she is affectionate and so, so sweet. So I want to keep her here as long as she wants to be here. She might jump back down on her water bottle, but let's give you a little up story on her, or a little, not an update, but a back story on her. So she was adopted from a cat sanctuary when she was about 7 or 8 years old. And she is now, oh, okay, she's going back onto her water bottle. And she is now about 14 to 16. So Lewis and her grandfather had her for about 7 years. And she was about 7 years old when they got her. So Lewis was living with his grandfather for the first 3 years while they had this cat. And then he moved out, he moved with me and started sort of moving around while we sort of built our life together. And she stayed behind where she was very settled, which was the best for her. Just one sneeze. Which was the best situation for her. So she's been living alone with Grandad for 4 years. And the reason she's moved is just because care and such has just got a little bit too much for that situation. So she's with us, and she's been with us for about a month now. And she, in her old territory, she was the boss. She terrorized the neighbor's cat and took over the garden. Then the other side neighbor had a dog. Now you would think that the dog chases the cat, the dog would be the problem. What's this bit of hair doing? Anyway, the dog would be the problem, but it wasn't. She was dominant. She used to actually chase the cat. She used to chase the dog, where usually it'd be the dog chasing the cat. But that wasn't the way. So animal-wise, she was a bit of a terror. She would dominate the area. Any other cats came into her territory, and she would jump to station. She would be like, no, this is my territory. And she would pretty much just boot them out. She would very much just boot them out and tell them who's boss, you know. And she would be in charge. So although she is 14 to 16 years old, she's going to sneeze again. So although she is 14 to 16 years old, she has always been strong and dominant and sneezy what she does when she's excited. So like I said, she is loving and friendly, and she knows me, and obviously she knows Lewis. So when she came up here, although the 2-hour drive was a bit stressful for her, she settled in pretty well. But she doesn't get along with our cat that we've got, Minnie. When they first met, there was hissing and screeching and yelling, and we had Mitzi in a cat carrier to sort of let her know that although she was dominant, this isn't her territory and she can't be dominant here. And Minnie never used to hiss and howl, but she's definitely learnt to now since we got Mitzi. But within sort of, I want to say about 2 weeks, the hissing and the howling stopped. There's no more howling or growling or anything like that anymore. There's just sort of a hiss separate. They're fine with each other. Unfortunately, we have had to put this baby girl into the kitchen, and she does get roam sort of. She goes outside every now and then, and she gets roam of sort of the bathroom and the hallway when we shut the door and we separate them both. But there's reasons why we've had to do what we had to do, and I'll explain that in a minute, but it's just to do with the vets. But like I say, you can see here, I can grab her, I can hug her, and she wants to go back down, proving me wrong. Like I say, she's got a very loving personality, but she is an old lady that likes to be sat on a hot water bottle. So, like I say, she does just now have her bed, have her hot water bottle in the kitchen, and that's where she likes to stay. So when we got her up here, I noticed a few differences with her. I noticed a few things wasn't quite right. She was very active. She used to love going outside and sunbathing. And although we had to keep her in, I noticed she wasn't too interested in the window. So I thought, no, that could be fine. She's just settling in. Obviously, she's missing Grandad. She's missing her home, and she's missing the garden. So I thought, okay, we'll let her grieve a little bit. We'll let her settle in a bit more. And she does now like to go outside, but like I say, it's for 5-10 minutes and she comes back. So I sort of noticed a few slight changes. So I took her to the vets, and she had a full health check, which cost me about £200 to get her full health check. So it was definitely something we did out of love more than necessity. And on the outside, she's got a few scabs around her tail end, and she's got a lump on her back end as well. And I'm very sorry if I keep saying a lot, because I'm trying to think. Like I said, this video wasn't planned. So outside, they said she's got okay sort of condition. The scabs on her back, we found she had a few fleas, so that's part why she's now in the kitchen, but we've dealt with that. They're gone. She doesn't have them anymore. That was very easy to deal with. They're gone. She doesn't have fleas anymore, but she was allergic to the actual flea bites. So obviously when she was back in Kent, she had been outside, and her flea collar, apparently, that we gave her wasn't the best. So she picked a few up, but we've dealt with that, and that's not an issue. But she was allergic to the flea bites themselves, so we had to get her a shot of steroids, and that also helped a lot. Her back end is so much better, and where she was missing hair, she's actually starting to grow it back a little bit, but we're not sure 100% what that hair loss was due to. Like I say, she's old. So we had the flea treatment, we had the steroid treatment. The next one was she had to get a blood test. Now, I'll show you here. She had to get a blood test. Oh, quickly. She had to get a blood test from her. I don't know if she's going to let me show you. No, she's not going to let me show you. She's just going to want to go better. She's got a big bald patch on her neck because they had to get a blood sample from, I'm guessing, her jugular vein, because I asked for a senior cat blood check. And sadly, that's where the problems lie. I guess in one way I wish I hadn't have pushed for that blood test, but in another way I'm glad I did, in a way, because she's not eating as much as she was. But then again, Minnie isn't eating as much as she was anyway, so I think it could just be the temperature. Minnie had this last year where she didn't eat much when it was hot, but she only weighs 3 kilos, a very smidge over 3 kilos, so the vet said we need to get weight on her. So we've been trying. We give her milk, but she's very underweight, and the blood check showed why. Oh, bless you. She has low protein in her blood. She has low sugar levels, and that's, they've said, if we just get her eating, then that should probably be fine. But she's got low sugar in her blood. Like I say, she used to eat about a third of a can of cat food in the morning and then the same in the evening. Now she's barely eating a third of a can of cat food throughout the whole day. And some days it's not even that much. And then they get biscuit. Both cats get biscuits in the evening, and she's eaten through most of her biscuits. But again, even when she was down in Kent, she seemed to be eating more. And the reason we found why she's not eating and why the lumps is she has some medical issues that I don't really want to go into because there's a few of them, but she has a few problems with her organs. Let's just say she's got a few problems with her organs that she can get treatment, she can have operations and investigations, more or less just investigations to open her up, samples, biopsies, just a visual look at what's going on inside. But we're not going to do that to her. We've decided, along with the vets as well, they think what we're doing is best for her because of her age, is we're just going to put her on comfort care, which basically just means she's going to live out the rest of, she's going to live with us, doing exactly what we're doing, feeding her, loving her, drinking, giving her drinks. And you want this? This is her favourite toy. It's a little catnip toy. I thought that's what you was looking for. She can smell it behind the box here. So we're putting her onto comfort care, which basically means we're going to love on her, we're going to look after her, we're going to feed her, water her, basically do what we're doing now, take her out every now and then. But ultimately, we're probably talking about weeks. Sadly, we are probably talking about weeks with her. And that's kind of why I did this video. Be right back, guys. So, very sorry about that, guys. The neighbour just tapped on the window. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, she's on comfort care at the moment. And she's still very playful for an elderly, sick cat. You want this? Yeah, I'll show you what we're doing. Hang on a minute. What's this catnip? You want this? Oh. You like that, don't you? Oh. Well, it's not for eat. I put it down there for you. Let's just set you back up. So, like I say, she's still quite playful. So, like we say, it's going to be weeks before we put her down. But that choice has been made. The vets believe it's the best option because at her age, oh, that was my finger. Oh, you got some claws. At her age, sedation isn't a good idea anyway, because we could be doing all of these operations and exploratory things and medication, and she could just pass away herself under sedation or at home, or just from stress from all of these different procedures because she is so old. So me and Lewis, obviously her main carers, along with other family members that care about her, like Lewis's mum, have decided that now is the best time to think about letting her go. But that does not change the fact that she right now she's not her old self. You know, you can see, if you had known her, you can see that she's declining. She's not eating. She's not, even like I'd say she used to be an outdoor cat. She'll play outside for 10-15 minutes and then she'll head back towards the door. So she's not the cat she used to be, but she is still a very happy cat. She's still playing a little bit, like that little shot I showed you. She's still somewhat eating, but that may just be the heat. Like I said, Minnie doesn't eat a lot at the moment either. But we're just giving her the best care we can. Like we say, we've defleed her, we've bathed her, so that back end of her barely has any scabs on it now. Still a little, bless you. Bless you. So like we say, the vets are with us in the decision that comfort care is the best, and then we're going to put her to sleep. And me and Lewis have decided when that time comes, we are giving her the best. We have decided that we're going to pay the extra money because she can go there, go to sleep, leave her behind. They dispose of her body with a lot of other bodies and we don't see her again. We've decided we are going to pay the extra money. We're going to be there when that happens, when they put her to sleep. And we're going to pay for a personal cremation. We are then going to... She's going nuts for that catnip. We're going to pay the extra to have a personal cremation. We're going to take her back to Kent and scatter her on and around where Grandad lives. And she will spend out the rest of her afterlife or the next life or however that works down in Kent where she was happy. But like, that could be weeks, it could be months, but I think we're talking about weeks. We're just taking every step as it comes, but she is a beautiful, happy, healthy, well, not healthy, but she's a beautiful, playful cat. Right now she is chewing the heck out of this. Oh, it's all socky. Ew, it's all socky. It's disgusting. Mitzi! They disgusting. So that's it for the video, guys. I'm sorry it wasn't the happiest video, but you did get to see this chunk-a-lonk. You did get to see this chunk-a-lonk. Say yes. Say I am Minnie. I have an angry face, but I am a happy cat. And now I want to go back on the floor. Ooh, she has claws. We haven't been able to trim her claws as much as we want. So they're a bit dangerous if you pick her up. But yeah, guys, that's it for the video. I'm sorry it wasn't the happiest video or the happiest outcome, but I did want to put her on my YouTube and I did want you guys to meet her. And for the guys that's watched my channel long term, you know, you've seen her in videos, but she's never really been introduced because she wasn't really our cat at the time. She was Lewis's granddad's cat. And she still very much is granddad's cat. But she just lives here. So that's it for today, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.